Today's little episode will be interesting because it's local history of an exorcism that took place in Jefferson County called Wizard Clip. Here she is.
Good morning. Different ones have requested, have you ever spoken on the story of the Wizard Clip? And I said, no, I haven't felt led to. So this morning when Kurt said, why don't you speak on the Wizard Clip? It's something that's local that people could learn about. And I said, oh, then I will. If you were to read in the paper the greatest poltergeist story that happened in all of America is in your territory, would you get the paper and say, wait a minute, where is that located? What's that all about? Because it's in your newspaper? So today I'm going to give you some news for your computer. Many years ago, I was invited to a prayer meeting down in Hedgesville, and a lady came up to me and she said, are you familiar with Priest Field? I said, what? It's being dedicated. I said, what? What's Priest Field? You don't know the story of Priest Field? I said, no. So I came home and I said to our priest, Father, do you know anything about a place called Priest Field / the Wizard Clip? He said, never heard of it. So the next week, came into Mass, he said, by the way, that you were asking about, Father Galoli said, I have the books in the vestibule if you want to sell them. What? And the books were called, the title of the book was Adam Livingston, The Voice, The Wizard Clip by A.L. Marshall. And so this is when I learned this story. But what is the Wizard Clip? Back at the end of the 1700s, a Lutheran farmer up in Pennsylvania was bothered with a lot of things, catastrophes and things happening, and he came to this town, this place in West Virginia, called Middleway, West Virginia.
Right on the Opequon.
Yeah, it's right on the Opequon Creek. And to give you an example of the map, if you were to go on Route 11 and you turn left to go toward Inwood, when you come to pass Inwood and you come to the Opequon Creek, exactly right there, if you look to the right, you will see a sign that says Priest Field. People don't know it's there. Now, here's the story behind it. When Adam Livingston came with his family to this piece of property that he bought, he moved in with his family, and one night, there was a knock at the door. It was a stranger. He asked for lodging, and they took him in. The man became ill in the night, asked for a priest. There was no priest. There was only one priest for a 100-mile radius, and that was Father Cahill, Hagerstown, Maryland, St. Mary's. 100-mile radius. Anyway, the man died, and after the man died, the clipping started. People would come to visit the Livingstons. One man had on new leather boots. When he left, they were clipped in half moons. Fire would fly out of their bed, but they were never on fire. Rocks would fly out of their fireplace, but no rocks were ever missing. It was terrible. One lady had on a new imported scarf to visit Mrs. Livingston. She put it in her pocket. When she came out, it was clipped into shreds. So the area became known as the Wizard Clip. And if you were to go down that area and you come to Middleway, West Virginia, when you go past Priest Field, if you turn right, there's an old inn, it's closed up, called the Wizard Clip Inn. Why was it called the Wizard? Because of the clippings. And finally, Adam Livingston, he called different pastors. No one could help him. He said, "Is there no man of God to help me?" And one night, Adam Livingston had a dream. In this dream, he saw a man in robes ascending these stairs. And the voice told him, "This is the one that will help you." So when Father Cahill went to Shepherdstown to say Holy Mass, Adam Livingston went to the church. When Father ascended the altar, he said, "That's the man that was in my dream." So Father Cahill came to pray over the place. And the clippings stopped for a while. Then they resumed. Then Father Cahill came back and he said Mass on the property. And that's when the clippings stopped. And then Adam Livingston was taught the Catholic faith by a voice that would come into the room. And it said it once lived on this earth, was coming back someday. It said about the Holy Mass, all the prayers and sacrifices of all the world was not as beneficial as one Mass in which a holy God is offered up to God. And one Mass is more acceptable to God than if the whole world was in sackcloth and ashes. Adam Livingston, when he was taught the sign of the cross, he saw an arm and a hand, taught him how to make the sign of the cross. Anyway, Adam Livingston became a Catholic, deeded the property to the Catholic Church, and on the deed it requested that a priest remain on that property. And that's why today, in 1978, it was dedicated, and today it's called Priest Field. And it is a retreat center for all denominations. And there's a lot more behind this, but if you Google in the Wizard Clip Priest Field / Middleway, West Virginia, bring it up on your computer, learn that story. One of the greatest poltergeist stories in all of America is right under our noses, and people don't know it's there. I wanted you to have some of this information. Thanks for listening.